Yeah, Jennifer, you were talking about to us on the aside about Joel and God restoring years that had been robbed. And
hmm
but how do you get to that place? Tell us some practical how tos.
Well, it begins with understanding really what's happening in the spirit realm. See, this past year and really the past 5 years have been very difficult for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to the point, I'll be very transparent. I got to the point about 3 weeks ago where I said to the Lord, I'm not doing anything else until I see what's happening, because this isn't stopping. This has been going on for 5 years. This has been one trial after another. This has been warfare after warfare. This has been, great blessing, great opportunity. I've been on some of the biggest platforms in the world. We've grown our prayer movement just massively. So all these blessings, but all these heavy trials. And I feel like I've lost so many opportunities, and yet God has been gracious to provide so many opportunities. I'm like, God, I'm stopping, because I've got people that have worked with me 20 years that stole from me. I've got associate pastors who are leaving suddenly. All this is happening. So God, I'm not doing anything else. I'm going to stay right here until you speak to me. And he reminded me, and this is a real key, he reminded me of a prophetic word that he gave me almost 5 years ago to the day. It was the prophetic word that he gave me that told me the path that I was going to be on going forward. And he asked me in that prophetic word to make a decision if I would go the road less traveled on and do things that looked foolish to the church, but looked, in his eyes, it was the right way. And when he reminded me of that prophetic word, all the warfare, all the trials, all the crushing, everything I've been through in the past 5 years, it made sense. When I read that prophetic word, I understood that what God was seeking, I was ready. I felt like I wouldn't give up, clearly. I've written my resignation letter to God many times. He never takes it. He just puts it in a drawer. Obviously, I wouldn't have really given up. I've got too much in my hands that God's called me to do. But here's the thing that some of you need to understand. When you feel like giving up, when the enemy's trying to get you to give up, it's not the time to give up. It's the time to surrender to God even more. So what God is wanting from so many of us in this season is more surrender, more abiding in him, more waiting for him, because we are hidden in Christ in God. And the times we're in, it has been traumatic. But if we want God to redeem our time, we truly, like David, have to believe that our times are in his hands. And if we're suffering, it's because God is conforming us into the image of Christ. If we have warfare, it's because the devil's trying to knock us out before we get to the high calling. God is still in control. And I believe, as you do, and as you know, that we have authority over the enemy, but there's some things that just happen. Look what Mike was talking about with Job. God allowed it. And so God is not going to allow more to come on us than we can bear. And if we want to step into that time redemption, we first must believe understand what's happening in the spirit, look back to the prophetic words God has spoken over your life, and really trust him that he is the restorer of all things.
Written by prophetic movement leader Jennifer LeClaire and endorsed by Cindy Jacobs, the Prophet's Devotional was written to equip and encourage you in your prophetic gift. No matter where you are in your prophetic journey, this essential resource will sharpen your discernment and hone your delivery of prophetic words. This is a devotional experience unlike any other, providing rich daily teachings and powerful prayers to empower you in your prophetic adventure with the Lord. Over the course of 365 days, you'll discover different functions of the prophetic gift. Avoid common pitfalls for prophetic people. Receive protocol for operating in the prophetic. Engage multiple dimensions of the spirit of prophecy. Discern the spirit realm with increased clarity and hear God's voice more distinctly and frequently. What are you waiting for? The adventure begins today. Get your copy of the Prophet's Devotional wherever books are sold.